This series is just freaking great. I mean, seriously, when I was watching this episode, it was just so freaking relaxing. Sitting down, getting a cup of coffee, and watching this series, no matter the time, is just so enjoyable. I mean, this series really, it gets me. It really gets me with how entertaining it is. It really does. By the week, you'd think a series kind of like how it's being displayed with how technically slow the pacing is, it would be boring, but personally, I am getting a lot of enjoyment from this series. It is really good. The pacing is on point, and personally, in my eyes, the way it progresses the characters, it allows me to actually connect with the characters, and that actually goes along with this episode. This episode focuses on Yoon and Iksu, you know, their relationship, how they met in the past, and how, like, Iksu is kind of like a fatherly figure to Yoon, and Yoon is like the child that watches after his parent, pretty much. And to see the development between these two characters in this episode, it just really got to me. It makes me care about these two characters, and usually you would not actually get to care about these characters if they tried to rush this development in under like half an episode. And so to see how they took the time to actually develop these two characters and allow us to actually see what they, like, their type of personality, their characteristics and stuff like that, it makes me appreciate it a whole lot more. Now, this episode, it's a very interesting episode. For instance, like I said, it was mainly giving some characterization for Iksu and giving some characterization for Yoon, getting to see how the personalities are and seeing how they're passed when they were very young. For instance, Yoon, we find out when he was a child, it seems like he was an orphan, there was something going on with poverty and starvation, and he was in the fire tribe, and nobody could pretty much get food. You saw where the water was dried up. They made sure on emphasis that we saw the water was dried up and stuff like that. So a lot of people were just scavenging for food. And so Yoon pretty much was an orphan child. I don't know exactly why he was orphan, because they didn't really go far into that, but we find out that he did anything he could to survive. He was on the verge of death, and he saw this random man just walking down the road one day, and he decided that, you know what, I need to get some food, I need to rob him, because I am starving. And honestly, you gotta defend Yoon, because, I mean, if you're a child at that age, and you're starving, the logical thing is you'll do anything to survive. So I can't really put Yoon down for what he did, but Iksu, the way his personality carried the conversation, the way he remained calm, and actually how he handled Yoon, it was very mature, and it makes me respect as a character a whole lot more the way he acted. Like, the way he actually taught Yoon how to, like, do the shoes, make straw shoes, that was really heart-touching. It's like, a father teaching his son or daughter, whatever it is, like his child, how to do certain things, and to see something like that, it really just hits you. And that's really what this episode was, just a relaxing episode to introduce these two characters and kind of give them some characterization for you can care about them. I really, really hope Iksu will actually make more of an appearance in the series. Hopefully this is not the last time we will actually see him in the series. I really hope he will come back later on down the road. But because he's a really cool character, I like his entire attitude, his demeanor, and the way he just carries himself in this series. Like, I mean, even though he is clumsy, and he falls down on rocks and stuff, I mean, he's just crazy, and, he's just clumsy as hell, his character is really interesting, and I want to know more about him, because, I mean, it seems like he also has dealt with a very hard life. Like, in this episode, you have it to where he was doing anything he could to come back and fulfill the promise he made Yoon in the past, and he traveled an entire year collecting books, and he got gold to try to give to Yoon for he could live a proper life, and when he tried to, he got robbed, as you can see at the end of this episode, which is very heart-touching and sad. He even though he was dejected, for instance, he got robbed, and he got all of his belongings got stolen from, he at the very least had the balls to actually go to Yoon and say, I'm very sorry. He had the balls to show up, and that right there is a very respectable character who's ever willing to do something like that. So my respect for Iksu has just went up. Now, about the episode, they had some comedy moments. There was some comedy moments in this episode with the clumsiness of Iksu, with Yoon's relationship and stuff like that. And one of the best comedy moments of this episode when it comes to me was the bag princess scene. Right at the end of the episode, when you have Yoon pull out a big freaking, like, blanket type object, and he's like, you know what, we can put the princess in this. We can put her in this bag, and we can carry her through, the Empire capital and stuff. I'm like, they're gonna put the princess in a fucking bag. That's fucking messed up, dude. That is messed up. So, yeah. We got a bag lolly in this season of anime, and now we got a bag princess. That's greatness right there. That's fucking greatness. So, yeah, that's the episode. Animation on point. It was really good animation for a slow-paced episode that was meant to just develop these two characters. Music, very beautiful. I like the music at the ending part of this episode. And so, yeah, a decent episode. I like the ending conclusion. The execution was properly. So, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.